Hello my friends, those of you who already follow my channel, you probably recognize this subject. This subject is Amazon Echo Show 5. I already reviewed this subject in terms of like nice review, unboxing and things like that and setup. And today the fate of this subject will depend on the skillfulness of me with screwdriver and other tools. So we would like to take a look what's inside. And I promise you will be not much blood happening over here, but bits and bolts can fly away or fly apart. And then we'll see if this subject will survive such autopsy or not, but I would like to see what's inside. If you want to see that as well, stay tuned or be with me. Alright, my friends, so I hope that was quick disassembly and will give you some idea how to disassemble Amazon Echo Show 5. So let's take a look what we have here. We have several modules. So we have a case which contained speaker assembly and interface boards. We have also front panel or front side, which contain the screen, buttons, and the, I guess, main processor board. And there's a whole bunch of screws. So let's talk about a speaker first. Honestly, I used to believe that this one is stereo, but what turned out to be, it's not stereo. So it has two wires only. So there is no separation in between left and right channel. It has pretty dinky speaker. I'm not sure how what characteristics of this speaker is, but it doesn't doesn't look that big. There is a special resonant cavity which actually around here, like all this metal thing. I don't think there is any amplification inside, because for amplification you would need more than just two wires right here. Unless there is special magic going on inside there, I don't think it does anything more than just having one speaker and doing music in mono. Maybe on the plug over here on the back it is stereo, highly likely it is, but this device is mono. Okay, so but this assembly looks really nice and beefy. It's actually probably the heaviest part of this. I don't know why it's supposed to be that heavy. I don't think speaker is that heavy, but maybe it is. Maybe for giggles I have to unscrew it. Let me quickly do it actually. Okay, and here's the last bit of the disassembly, buzzer or speaker itself. So it's pretty small actually. I think it's even smaller than in Amazon Echo device. I think it's pretty small. It's pretty beefy though, like it's quite heavy, but it's really small. Well, it goes back in here. Not gonna play with it, and it's obviously there is nothing more than just a speaker, so there's no any special driver or anything like that. So this only what we have. Okay. Right, so let's put it here. Then we have an interface board of some sort. So this board, there's actually two boards because they are connected by this electrically conductive tape to actually eliminate some extra noise. What I like about this, looks like everything in here very nice shielded. This is very good, very nice shielded. Grounding is everywhere. The good job for Amazon to actually properly grounding things around here. So let's take a look at this. So this is speaker wire. So this is for external speaker. So I hope even the speaker is mono, this is gonna be stereo. There is a USB jack over here. Let me take my pokey bit. Use micro USB jack, and this is power jack. What's great about those are reinforced with screws. This is amazing. So that means they not gonna move. They're gonna stay where they are, even if you bend it or it falls or something. This is really good. Obviously micro USB is not, but you're not using micro USB a lot. What you do, you just powering it through the this power jack. This is a barrel connector and special with power supply, which goes together, shipped together with Echo Show 5. And these are you are using just a regular 3.5mm speaker jack or headphone jack. So I still have to figure out if this is powered or not. Sorry, if this is stereo or not. I don't see any amplification units over here, so I assume this is just the connectors, nothing more than that. Some probably there is filtering over here. Obviously try to put filtering as close to the power jack as possible. So let's take a look at this board. Let me just detach this up. Okay, so not much going on here, and actually one thing is missing right there. I don't know what was supposed to be populated right here, but it's not there. On the back side there is nothing. So this is cool actually. I don't know what that really means. Look cool, but there's some sort of vias, like it says MK4, and it's really hard to see. But it's funny that this holes comes through over here. What it's supposed to be, I have no idea. And let me take a look what this chip is. Well guys, it doesn't say much. It says ADC and there is a whole bunch of numbers, so I'm gonna photograph this in up close. I do not know what it is, have to figure this out. On the back here it says MIC BD2 version 1.0, MIC BD2. That's doesn't tell much. So yeah, interesting to know what is this, but I suspect this is probably, well, because it says ADC, maybe it's an analog to digital converter to actually drive speaker and some other just interfacing to the USB. That's pretty much it. Yeah, because this what goes. Actually, my bad. This is completely off the board. So those two boards are not connected. This one and this one not connected. All this goes straight to the main processor board right over here. To MLB, to Mica. Weird. Don't know what this Mica. Oh, there is also board over here. So these probably were connected like that. Okay. So that's pretty much it on this side. We have interface board and we have ADC board, let's call it, or Mica board, or maybe it's like some DSP. I will figure out what this chip is. Okay, so now we going to the business end, and unfortunately business end is really hard to get to. Those cans are really well shut. I actually tried several times to open them up and I cannot. Without just picking underneath those cans, what I can say, there is some power devices over here, like some inductors, and I assume this side of the business is related to display. So this is to display driver, this small connector, it's to drive backlight, and this one is probably just to drive the display data buses. This one goes to this board. So there is a camera which actually over here, and this is probably a camera connector in some interfacing as well. So let's take a look on other side. Okay, we have two Realtek Jobbies here. One is probably audio chip, another is probably Wi-Fi. I say probably because I will still have to like figure out what are those. This little teeny tiny BGA Joby, like 3x3 array, looks like it is 3x3 array. It's really hard to read, so I have to use a microscope actually to get there. So let's put it aside for now. I will get under those cans and we'll continue. So what we have here, so this is the display face part of the unit. So we have obviously data bus for display, and this is probably backlight, highly likely, judging by the little power element over here as well. So then we have interface to camera. Camera is over here. It can be switched by this mechanical shutter, or right the camera, and few buttons. Also microphones, but I believe microphones are interfacing via this connector to this board, do some processing and return data to main processor over this connector. So yeah, definitely ADC, what it actually says over here. This is specifically designed for a this unit is specifically designed for actually processing microphone data. And actually, if you take a look over here, there are two microphones right there. They are back mounted, so microphone is mounted on this side of the board, and there is a little hole through, and the opening goes through here, through the board to the microphone. They are back mounted. I won't be able to actually reach camera. You can try. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I would be able to get the camera. Just a second. Alright guys, so here we are. I was able to pull this microphone and the buttons boards out of the case, so from over here. Yeah, you see it's empty now. Okay, so what we have here two back-mounted microphones, and the openings of microphones are right one and another over here. We have three buttons, and that's pretty much it, except it contains this little switch. This is actually a physical switch. I'm not really sure what it's disconnects or connects, but there is a slider over here. When this slides, it engages and disengages this switch, which is kind of awesome. Obviously there is a connector over here to connect to the bus, and that's it. This is the microphone board. There is a few passives around there as well. Looking good and nice. Okay, so there is something else I pulled out of there. Take a look at this. So we have here a camera. So this is a little teeny tiny camera, but there is something else over here. Take a look. This is probably, highly likely, a light sensor. So there is a light sensor because and it works separately from camera, obviously. Yes, you can sense light by the camera, but when this shutter closes the camera for the privacy reasons, it goes over like this. Sorry, highly likely it goes over I think like this, and the white you can see through the openings at the front of the unit. It completely blocks the camera, so you can't tell if it's dark or light, but the sensor won't be blocked. It will tell the Amazon Echo 5 to adjust the brightness of the screen according to the brightness in the room. This is very, very nice feature. So all this unit was actually glued. I hope I would be able to re-glue it back together, because I really want to have this thing working. I just want to know what's inside. Camera is pretty basic. There is nothing special here. I don't even know what kind of camera is here. Look at this. We got into something confidential. Foxlink, blah blah blah, confidential, blah, blah, whatever it means. So I'm curious what this camera is, but it doesn't really matter. You're not gonna hack anything here because this is all kind of proprietary stuff anyways, but curious what this light sensor is. That's I would like to use some kind of microscope to actually take a look. Maybe I'll even post some pictures and probably get some photos of this one, but there is no any kind of identifiers of what sort of camera is this. There is some sort of QR code. This is yeah, this is what I pulled out, and was a bracket like this. This bracket was holding and with screws the camera in place and also the sensor in place. I think this is all our analysis, but it probably won't be complete without me actually getting inside this beast. But at the moment, I don't know how I'm gonna get here. So I need some poking around. Let me do some poking around, and if I'm successful, I definitely share it with you. Okay, so that's gonna continue. I'm just gonna try to get in. Okay, I've done some investigation and I figured out all those chips that are around here. So let's take a look first at this big dude over here. Okay, I better use this one. So this one is MediaTek MT8163V, which is 64-bit SoC containing 4X Cortex-A53. So it's pretty beefy guy. It has camera processing. It has 3D sort of like 3D OpenGL stack. It has video decoder, so it's a brain of operation. There is also over here, if you take a look at this angle, like underneath the can, there are 2 RAM chips and probably 1 EEPROM somewhere here. So this dude is a brain of operation, and all processing power is here. Next one, the one I thought is Wi-Fi. Actually, it is a BGI power IC, audio amp, codec, GPIO, SPI, lithium charger, etc. So this dude called MT EC6323LJ is like very multi-purpose chip, so it does some glue logic and things like that. It has own CAN. This little black thing over here, I thought that's the antenna, but turned out to be, well, kind of doesn't make sense to have antenna in a CAN, right? Yeah, I don't know what it is, to be honest. So next one is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth chip. So this dude is Wi-Fi Bluetooth, and here is the antenna you can see, and here is another one. So this dude is supports multiple standards, supports BG and AC and all this kind of stuff for Wi-Fi, and I think Bluetooth 4.4, and I'm not sure about 5. Yeah, I didn't read detailed spec, but all whatever information I find, I will share together with high-res photos, all this stuff. So next one going to be on another side. So remember I mentioned about those two chips, so those two Realtek stuff. So one is not what I thought it is. So this dude, Realtek ALC1304, is a power IC chip. So yeah, it does power conversion, has multiple rails and things like that. So essentially it's powering all this jazz which under So essentially it's power all this jazz on the other side. And this little dude is ultra power low power audio codec. So that's audio chip essentially. It is ALC 5616. Yeah. So that's what it is. So the next one is this little guy over here. So as I suspected, this is ADC. Well, it clearly indicates on it. This is Texas Instrument low power ADC, which contains mini DSP. So this is a little cool device, and it's probably separated on its own board just because to meet signal requirements in order to do proper DSP and analog to digital conversion. Otherwise, I don't know why it sits on separate board just like that, completely away from the main board. Maybe they needed to make sure signal is completely free of crossover, jitter, and whatever any other interferences from the main board. So over here we have two microphones, and we have another interesting is this camera module. I couldn't really figure out much about this camera module and the light sensor, so if I get something I will provide information on the website. And those microphones are really hard to read. Again, I will provide information on my website. This is pretty much it as far as what this thing contains. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I found a very interesting thing over here. It's sort of like NFC coil hidden right there. So I'm not sure if this is part of some sort of NFC pairing or this is just some security on the Amazon warehouse kind of thingy. So yeah, I don't know what this is about, but there is a coil and a little chippy over there. So just for you to know, whatever is left right now is just to put it all together and make sure it works again. So let's do it. So here we are. I put it all back together. I didn't I decided not to put this back plate. First of all, it has to be straightened because after like pulling it off, I kind of ruined, like bent it a little bit. Also, I need to reapply new glue strips over here. So that's you know, will be extra step I'll do later. Also, I have to clean this all up and make sure if all operates. Okay, let's power it up and see if it works. Okay, we have a moment of truth, and let's take a look what's happened. Looks like we have some picture. Looks like it's alive. Well, let's see to what extent. Hope microphones works. Okay, seems like it's okay. It's operational. It sort of works, and I will probably fix, as I mentioned, this issue. Or maybe I will not fix it. I just remove the glue and leave it as it is. The only thing is this like has some weight in it, and it's gonna keep it properly oriented. But at the end of story, this thing works. Alexa, oh yeah, Alexa, play music for sleeping.
The playlist Deep Sleep Music on Amazon Music.
Unfortunately, this is not stereo music, as we already figured it out all together. So this is a little bit bummer, but on the other hand, I'm pretty sure from this line output you're gonna get stereo signal. So this is all good. Well, guys, thank you all for watching. Gonna shut it down for now. For watching. Sorry for being a very long video, but this sort of video cannot be short because this is detailed tear down and analysis of how the thing's made. So take some research, take some time, take some poking around. If you like this sort of video and you have comments, suggestions, ideas, or maybe have questions that maybe something I didn't cover, please ask down below. I will be happy to answer. And if you have any suggestions for future video, please also comment. Please subscribe to support my channel, and thank you for watching. See you next time.